Hello folks, I'm Michael Moore, candidate for United States Congress, here with another video to discuss some important aspect of our campaign. Hopefully you've seen a few of these already, so you basically know what to expect. Today we're talking briefly about issues related to the LGBTQIA+ community and how people can and why we need people to get involved with our campaign right now. By the way, everyone calls me Mickey. Please call me Mickey. You can find this information and so much more on our website, usrepmore.com. Our contact information is there, and we really appreciate when people reach out to us with questions, ideas, or concerns. Unlike other politicians, I actually answer my phone, and I'm always happy to talk with you. Unlike the vast majority of people who love to talk about how smart they are, or how much they know and understand other people, this is a great opportunity for me to go into detail about what I don't know. Far too often, typical politicians like to pretend that they are the absolute experts or the single greatest example of their constituency. Now, I was born and raised right here in the 5th District, but still, I'll never be that kind of person or do that. Let me give you some examples. I don't have any experience being in the military or fighting wars. So you'll never hear me talk about what being under fire in a combat zone must be like. I didn't grow up with any brothers or sisters, so you'll never hear me discuss the intricate interactions and relationships inside of a large family. I'm not a confirmed or documented member of any Native American tribe. And although I might have a lot of personal experience with Native Americans, it would be both rude and ridiculous to suggest that some casual personal familiarity can equate to actually being a part of their nation or being identified as Native American. While I obviously have a lot of connections and exposures with all different types of people, including plenty of people within the LGBTQIA+ community, I would never consider myself some kind of expert or speak as if I understood these issues as someone who lives that experience. I would neither expect nor accept someone telling me what it's like to be some other race. And I'm continually disgusted by politicians who act like they know and understand what it's like to be a member of a community that they're not part of. I've always considered that both disingenuous and repulsive. Also, just as importantly, in my experience, for a political leader, it's often dangerous and counterproductive. So one thing I'll never do is talk about the LGBTQIA+ community as if I know what I'm talking about. Let's just agree that the best representatives for this community are always going to be the many qualified and willing leaders and members of that community. While I have tremendous familiarity, experience, and plenty of secondhand information that comes from being a lifelong resident of the 5th District, while Lowry Hills and the Wedge and Loring Park and uptown Minneapolis neighborhoods completely encapsulate my own childhood, those are my stomping grounds, we should all be able to agree that there are even better and more informed and educated people readily available to lend their very direct expertise for these issues. That said, what that means is that I really need the direct help of people from within that community to closely work with me on those issues which concern them and which are often avoided or ignored or mishandled. Some issues are more complicated than others. We're talking about issues such as conversion therapy, housing and job discrimination, the proper identification and prosecution of hate crimes, prison placement discrimination based on gender identity, the constitutionality of government involvement in marriage, civil unions, controversial public education curriculums, and so many other things. As the representative of all people in the 5th District, I want to stress that the best way to work together on these issues will be for everyone to step forward and offer their expertise, their experience, and their assistance, especially in those communities that already have great leadership structure. It would be far too easy for me to act like I'm already so compassionate and so attentive to the needs of each particular group of constituents that we have here in the 5th District. But that's not honest, and that's not helpful. We need honesty first and foremost in this new era of political representation, and I'm not going to begin by making false claims about my amazing tolerance, my history of inclusion, my exceptionally open-minded approach. Yes, I believe in and in many ways exemplify all of those ideals, absolutely. But let's be fair, let's be real about it. How can I possibly already know everything about a community that I'm technically not even a part of? The answer is I can't, and I don't. And I want to make sure that I'm always including the very people who know the most and have the most to gain and the most to offer regarding these issues, so that we never miss any important opportunities or make any meaningful mistakes. I hope that people recognize that this sort of refreshing honesty is not a failure, but rather it's a source of true strength. While other typical politicians stand before you and lie about how they already know, or they totally get it, or they feel your pain, or they know what it's like to be an outsider, in some desperate effort just to get your votes, politicians love to be able to somehow relate their own life story to every last possible voter, when the simple reality is they can't. No one can. These politicians are lying, just like politicians lie about so many other things. They lie to you, they lie to themselves, they lie just to get your votes. Meanwhile, what they're really saying is that they don't want or need or value your opinion. They don't want or need to include you personally in what they're doing because they've got it all handled, all by themselves. Well, I'm saying just the opposite. If you are a member of the LGBTQIA plus community and you'd like to get involved in a new form of representation that deals directly with the people and their needs and concerns, then please contact us to become a part of our operation. We do want you, and we do need you. And you won't be the only ones, because we already have some great volunteers and staff members here working on these very issues and ideas. Your input and experience will be invaluable to us, both during our campaign and much more importantly, after we are elected. And hear and understand this important point. We are absolutely committed to bringing people from the LGBTQIA plus community with us to Washington, D.C. as critical upper-level policy advisors and staff members. And we cannot afford to be disconnected from any community or group. So please, reach out to join our cause, because the alternative is unacceptable. There's never been a better time for you to get involved. You can always find our contact information on our website, usrepmore.com. You can fill out the contact information form and we can stay in touch, or you can call or email me personally anytime to talk about your ideas, your concern, even your future within our operation, if that's something that you're interested in. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have lots of very interesting new videos coming up soon. Thanks for your support, and I really hope to be able to talk to you in person soon.